I hide behind the dark side of my bed in shaken cold, for the unknown threats that will make me succumb to an undesired demise. The risk is great, and the rewards is none, and the consequences will change to be the absolute worst. The isolation is nothing but a pause of reality, a pause that would have made me safe, but instead I fear many things, and the isolation is empty but the thoughts of my blood. Suddenly I hear a voice. "Open up, Ethan. This is the police." I do not respond to the voice behind the door, so I hit hello, hoping that he would go away. "Ethan, open the door. If you don't, I will kill you." My heart raises in surprise, and my body starts to sweat like crazy, for the voice behind the door will do what he promised. My lungs are heavy, my chest pains in the moment, as the shaking of my limbs intensifies, and my many wonders of what's happening. I look around, bewildered, when I suddenly saw the walls come closer. The room was smaller, and I was getting bigger, when I could feel the unbearable itch of insects crawling all over my skin. I scratched deep into the skin of my own legs, but the insects continued to scatter. Eventually I made a bloodbath of my own legs, and the smell of metal from my blood was overwhelming my senses. I stare at my bloody hands in fear of what I've just done to myself. "It's your own fault, Ethan. This is what you have done. You have made everything worse for yourself, and look what happened. Now stop being a little coward and surrender yourself." My legs were broken. I couldn't move, but I stayed for too long, and if longer I would be gone. I resisted against the pain, my grunts and cries fueled with desperation and tears slathering down my cheeks. Everything melted before me. The door still stands strong, but for how long? I could not make it. It was going further than I remembered, and it's still far. My crawl is too slow, and I was being pulled. I managed to open the door, and then I saw a figure. Its body was bloody. It had scratches, bruises, and cuts all over. It was skinny down to the bone. Chains locked the figure in stationary position, covering all the joints with chains spreading across the floor. Its nails were long and sharp, and large hands cover its ears. Its legs were close to its torso. It has no eyes, and blood was slowly sliding from its eye holes. It had no tongue nor teeth, and its throat looks like it was cut off. The only noises I heard from it was the crying, the unbearable crying, and the sound of lost breaths. And then I took a moment, and then I looked down at my arms, and then I saw the chains wrapped around me.